What's up, Wizards? It's Dev, Mtg. We like it magic, and today coming at you with, I guess, a new series, we'll call it. This is Ranked Jank. You probably know about Dank Jank, where I just play really bad decks. Usually they're terrible. They're fun, but that also usually means terrible. Well, today we're going to take one of those super janky decks. We're going to throw it into the arena, see how it does on the ladder. Are we going to gain some spots? We're going to lose some spots. I guess we'll see. But for the inaugural video in this brand new series, we'll call it, I'm going to try out Tempochantments, which is a $25 mono white all that glitters deck is basically what this is. But we are playing Lurrus as our companion. Right now Lurrus is about $13 market price on TCG Player. Easily the most expensive card in the deck, but even if you factor in Lurrus, I think the deck hits like 25 bucks. Right at between $20 and $25, because nothing else in the deck really costs that much. Lurrus, I don't think you absolutely have to play if you wanted to make the deck as budget as possible. You could probably get this thing for like 10 bucks, but all things considered, I think Lurrus does help to pull a lot of loose ends together and help the deck rebuild when it needs to, in case something goes horribly wrong. So Lurrus is a very good card, and if you've got it, you should play it, but you don't necessarily have to. What we're really trying to do here is play kind of a tempo game with a bunch of artifacts and enchantments and all that glitters, along with a bunch of things that protect our creatures for just one mana. So again, a very tempo-oriented game here, but we're trying to play as many artifacts and enchantments as we can, and we hit 24 altogether. And this deck has been through a couple of evolutions since I've started messing around with it. I was playing Fairy Guidemother in the deck as a 4-of, but I switched over to Ginger Brute, which is a much better card. One of our better attackers, it turns out, and is an artifact for the purposes of all that glitters. So really good, gets through a lot, but there are some hasty dudes in the format you got to worry about, obviously. There's stuff like Fervent Champion, Robber of the Rich, Questing Beast, and whatnot. And there are creatures that can gain haste as well, like Shifting Ceratops, and more often Kenrith and Cavalier of Flame. So there are some things that can block this, but altogether, it's sometimes better to have than a flyer. So, one of our better attackers, but Healer's Hawk is our other best attacker in the deck. We're just trying to load either of these two creatures up with all that glitters, along with Sentinel's Eyes, and Solid Footing, and even Glaring Aegis, which is actually a really good card in this deck. You know, it taps down the hasty guy or taps down the flyer so that one of our creatures can get through for the turns. We're just trying to get through with big attack steps. That's really all we're trying to do, and sometimes tapping a creature down will help us do that. So, Glaring Aegis has been surprisingly very good. We're just trying to max out the number of 1 mana artifacts and enchantments that we play in the deck, and even though we really only have the one artifact, and that's Ginger Brute, I guess we could play Shadow Spear if we wanted to in this deck, and that wouldn't be terrible, but a lot of our creatures already have lifelink. But another big evolution to the deck is the one of Beloved Princess. I took out the one fight as one. We're down to 3 now. And I put in one Beloved Princess just to kind of get the creature count up just a little bit to make us more likely to draw a creature in our opening hand. And so that's really, really important to do for the deck so we don't have to mulligan as aggressively, because the deck mulligans fairly aggressively from what I can tell. So I wanted to get a little bit more creature action there, and Beloved Princess is pretty good against like most of the creatures in Fires of Invention, for instance, because they're all huge. So most of the giant creatures that people rely on to win the games, this will just slip right up under. So I do like that, but if it's wearing enough artifacts and enchantments, it kind of doesn't matter that it gets blocked, because it'll still gain us a whole bunch of life. I wanted another life linker in the deck, because Healer's Hawk, the lifelink on this is sometimes really important to win races. So I wanted another lifelinker. Beloved Princess got the slot, but all these things that protect our creatures are very important too. We're playing a total of 15 effectively with Karametra's Blessing, God's Willing, Fight as One, and All Seed of Life's Bounty, which functions as another lifelinking creature, but this one doesn't have any sort of evasive ability, so you mostly want to avoid putting a bunch of artifacts and enchantments on this, but if you have to, you will, if it's like the only thing you start the game with. But for the most part, you want to keep this open, not put too many artifacts or too many enchantments on it, because you want to be able to sacrifice it. This can protect a Lurrus, but most often it's going to protect a Healer's Hawk or Ginger Brute that you've got loaded up. And sometimes either All Seed or God's Willing have a special mode in that they can just get a creature through for a bunch of combat damage and sometimes just win the game that way. Give it protection from green or whatever, and all your opponent's creatures are green in some way or another. You just get through for combat damage and win. So that happens a lot, but all of these can be used to either, dodge spot removal on your opponent's end. Some of them, like Fight as One and Karametra's Blessing, if the creature is enchanted, or an enchantment, like All Seed, can help our creatures survive things like Shatter the Sky by giving them indestructibility. That's important. Karametra's Blessing and God's Willing can also protect from things like Teferi, bouncing the creatures back to our hand. We got to give them protection from blue, remember to do that. Nothing feels worse than choosing protection from white or something like that on accident when they try to bounce your dude with Teferi and then all of your creatures' enchantments fall off. It's actually one of the good things about this deck being mono white is a couple of things. You're actually minimizing the chance that, God's willing, we'll have to name a thing that makes enchantments fall off. Right? Like in other decks that play Staggering Insight. If I name white or blue while Teferi's trying to bounce a creature, well, then my Staggering Insight's going to fall off. So in this deck, that's pretty much never going to happen unless your opponent is targeting your creature with Glass Casket or Banishing Light or Elspeth Conquers Death. And the only thing that can target with Elspeth Conquers Death is Lures of the Dream Den. So keep that in mind. But you know, white is probably the least played color in the format, and when people do play it, it's usually white and another color. You know, Teferi is white and blue, Deafening Clarion white and red. So you can usually choose another color to give a creature protection from, and your enchantments don't have to fall off. So it's really nice that this is a mono white deck for that kind of techie meta reason. But anyway, I think I've talked enough about the deck. You've pretty much got the basic idea here. There are a couple of other tricks, like Solid Footing can be used as a combat trick. Note that if you have an all that glitters on the creature, this actually gives the creature +2/+2 at instant speed for 1 mana, which is a really, really good deal, wins a lot of combat interactions, and again, flash is sometimes key on this. So Sentinel's Eyes, giving the creature vigilance, really important if it's a big lifelink thing with an all that glitters on it. That's really, really good. So there's a lot of really cool things about this deck, but mostly, I'm interested in whether or not this is one of the best tempo decks in the format. We tried Jeskai Sprite Dragon, which I have a lot of faith in, but sometimes has mana problems. A good bit has mana problems, so I don't like that about that deck. And then there's also the just blue-white Flyers deck. There's the mono-blue tempo deck, which I actually think is really, really good too, and it gets to play counter spells and stuff. But this deck gets to play all the things that protect our creatures, and all that glitters, and a way to get all that glitters back from the graveyard with Lurrus. So there's just a lot of cool things going on for the deck, and even though it's super cheap, I've been having a lot of fun with it in Unranked, and doing really well with it too. So I want to see if that translates to laddered games here, and we'll see if we lose a bunch of rank. I've been testing bad decks, so I had Platinum 4 all the way down. I was in Platinum 2, but I've been testing the Selesnya mid-range deck, and that hurt. Well, we're in for one here against the Pav. Zipav with a Luca avatar. That's never a good sign. They're going to play Lures of the Dream Den, though. Okay. Well, we didn't get any creatures in our opener, and that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. This is a really good opener, though, with all the glitters. It's really not terrible. But as it is, we have to get to Lurrus with this hand, so we'd have to draw another Plains, and then we have to hope our opponent doesn't do anything, and they will because they have Lurrus, so they're going to be playing 1 and 2 drops. I'm going to mulligan it up. Okay, this is much better. Don't be afraid to mulligan, everybody. Is this what I want to put back? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want to put back. Although we will need a 3rd land if things go the way I want them to. Oh boy, a Flourishing Fox. Oh boy. All Seed of Life's Bounty. Let's get it down. And they're going to start cycling. Going to get on their bike and ride. Here comes the Fox. I'm going to no blocks. No blocks to Fox. Go ahead and grow it. Make that Fox a big boy. Big old boy. Yeah. Get him big. Come on. You got another one to cycle. I know you do. Yep. There it goes. Get it. I love the cycling deck so much. I really do. Oh, there's a Healer's Hawk. Does that change our plans at all? Alright, so they can't like Zenith Flare next turn. I could always go for blood. I could do that. Doom-ba-doo, Healer's Hawk, I'm gonna play that. Then I'm gonna probably say go. Why is it a Christmas song? Let's get in. Let's get in for our life here. In the turn. I don't think they're gonna... Well, they have access to go for blood. They could always try to kill this Healer's Hawk. Because I plan to annoy the poop out of them with this Healer's Hawk. if we can. Of course, next turn, all the glitters might just make Healer's Hawk like a 2/2. That's not terrible. We'll get a 15. Well, actually, probably get a like 13 off this Flourishing Fox. Flourishing Fox is so good. Fox is top tier, as usual. Some Some points on the standard ladder lately have seemed like Fox only melee back in the day. Well, they only cycle one thing. They have a little mercy. Oh, they're going to cycle again after damage. Oh, no, they're not. They're just going to put it on the... Okay. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen anybody actually play Football Crater. I don't think I've really ever seen it happen once. Wow. Yikes. Huh. Well, that happened. That happened just now. So let's put this all the glitters on Healer's Hawk. And it's like we Sentinel's Eyes. It'll make it a 5/5. But they play a land that can still go for blood and kill a Healer's Hawk. Which I don't love. I don't love it. I'll just get my lifelink. Get my lifelink on. 18. So 14, 13, 12. We can go to 11 next turn. And that's not bad. Now I'm playing like a pretty slow burn here, but you always want to leave this mana up. Although losing All Seed would hurt. That would not be good. Alright, they're going to get in with Fox. Fox. I could go to like 10 here. What will they? They have Zenith Flare up. And like a bunch of cyclers. Cycle more. Cycle go for blood. That's interesting. That you would do that. I'm just trying to put stuff in their yard. That probably means they have Flare. They're going to keep 2 up. I guess they can't Flare. I keep thinking this Football Crater is a land. And now they definitely can't Flare this turn. So, alright, they try to go for blood here. Sure. Sure. That'll do. Take the 1 lifelink. Alright, Karametra's Blessing is pretty decent. We can Sentinel's Eyes on the Healer's Hawk. We can All Seed. Now we got All Seed and Blessing up. That's not bad. Smack them in the mouth for 8. Well, for 5. They're at 8. Excuse me. And we got multiple ways to protect this hawk. Yeah, cool. Scry it up. That also means that they can't flare this turn. So 6, 7, 8. Yeah. If we play Ginger Brute and Karametra's Blessing next turn, then we should be able to win game, perhaps? Alright, you come on in with the Flourishing Fox. No blocks. That's fine. They're going to cycle. Yep. You do that. You do that, bucko, the Pav. It's a Sword 13, but I'm not too worried about that right now. I've only got 2 mana open. That's enough to cycle twice more or go for blood. Maybe they'll go for blood again. They do go for blood. The All Seed. Yeah. Sure. That's fine. Alright, our turn. That is exactly what we wanted. That's what we wanted, and they are tapped out. So, cool. What's next? All attack. K Blessing. And why not another one? They're tapped out. For good measure. I'm gonna good game the opponents. A little bit too late, but I just didn't want to look like a jerk. Alright, well, we got that one. We got that one against Jeskai Cycling, which is actually Boros Cycling. I don't think they're actually playing any blue sources. Maybe they were choked on lands there for a second, but they also, I think, made some mistakes by cycling some of the things they cycled, and by continuing. Maybe they should have kept attacking with Fox. I could see that, but I still think maybe there were mistakes, but I'm sure I probably made some too. Who am I to talk about mistakes? But let's get another one in there. Winning against Cycling is pretty good. Excuse me. I'll take that. Take that in a heartbeat. It's like, I wonder if they'd have gotten Flare if things would have been different, but I don't think so. We could have protected. And I don't think they could have knocked us off with a Flare there. So, alright, opponent goes first. This one's going to be a little bit tougher. So we don't have a great creature to throw this all that glitters on. But maybe we'll just All Seed Turn 2 solid footing. Turn 3 all the glitters. Have stuff to protect it. So this looks like it might be another cycling deck. Yeah, it's man. I'm telling y'all, the ladder lately in some spots has seemed like the freaking Tour de France. It's just cycling everywhere. I will attack. See what they do. Oh my god, they did it. Well, yeah, that's what we want. Let's fight as one. Get rid of this stinger. For now, at least. They got Luris. Wonder if they'll... No, they're going to heal her this turn. Okay. That can be a frustrating card to play against. Gains life. Alright, we got a plains. We got to stop doing that. All it glitters on the all seed. Let's go attacking. At least gain a bunch of life. It's going to make a Zenith Flare a lot tougher for them. Or 28. Wow, 2 cycling decks in a row. That's how it be, though. Lately. The cycling deck is like really easy to put together. It's fun to play. It's so fun to pilot. And there's a lot of intricacy to it. People think it's a brainless deck. It's not. I've gotten in a lot of games with cycling decks in the last like month here. Well, like 3 weeks, I guess, since the set came out. And like it's addictive, but there are a lot of like little wrinkles to the cycling deck you got to get right. So, and this opponent, not necessarily, I won't say better than our last opponent, but this opponent actually plays their stuff rather than cycle it, and that's what you got to do. Especially in the Luris version of the deck, which is the best one. Actually, don't cycle your Drannith Healers and your Drannith Stingers. Play them. If your opponent kills them, then that's cycling cards in the graveyard towards a Zenith Flare. Or you can just play them again with Luris, and you've managed to get stuff off the board with your creatures. So you've made better trades with your opponent if you actually play your creatures out in this deck. It's usually a better thing to do. A lot of people, when they're first starting to play the deck, just play it like a turn 4 Zenith Flare for 10 deck, and that's just, it's not a good deck that way. Actually playing out your creatures is the way to play this deck. And our current opponent understands that, so we'll see if we have as easy of a time. We draw another plains. It's not exactly what we wanted to do. We'll get in. What would actually be kind of sweet is a Sentinel's Eyes, to be honest. That'd be kind of nice. But we will go up to 30 here. I'll take it. Oh, Luris. Which doesn't do much right now. It really doesn't. But I just want to use the mana while we got it. If they go to Flare the Luris, then we can Blessing, and I think, no, the Luris won't survive. It needs to be enchanted. Let's see if that was a massive misplay or not. But just, stinger damage is not going to help them too much here. Alright, cycle away. Maybe trying to pick up an answer here. I was thinking maybe if they're trying to get go for blood to take out the Luris. Even if they have to lose a creature. Again, they'll win that exchange because they get to play the creature again later. Well, they got to go for blood, and they cycle it away. Just trying to do as much damage, gain as much life as possible. They'll probably get in here as well. Nope. Okay. We got the Sentinel's Eyes I was wanting. Well, that's not bad. Make Luris a 4/3. And enchant it. I think that's what I'll do. We'll see if we can catch him double blocking and play this Karametra's Blessing. Let's get in. Again, this life gain is going to make Zenith Flare really difficult. Alright, we're going to get this damage for free, which is really sweet considering we get to save our Karametra's Blessing. I didn't think we were going to be able to. But opponent at 7. Now, if they flare, that's a lot. That's a lot of life gain. They're gonna flare. Let's tell them no. Pro red. Or really, it doesn't matter. And yeah. Cool. You don't gain any life either. Because hexproof. How you feel about that, opponent? How do you feel about that? Mana tap down. What do you do? You're going to lose your healer and your stinger. And you're going to have to devote mana next turn to playing Lurrus to get either one of them back. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. So it really gives you something to think about. You know? It does. Maybe we won't draw a land this turn. I guess we drew Sentinel's Eyes last turn, so I can't complain too much. I wonder if they're thinking, like, what is this last card in their hand? What is this last card in our opponent's hand? They don't know that it's a Plains. Just a harmless Plains I can do nothing with. Another thing they could be doing is being jerks. That's just occurred to me. It probably occurred to you all a long time ago, but I like to have more faith in people than that. But I think that maybe this person, has decided that they're can be jerks. I mean, all is not lost here. Definitely not. We're going to go up to a really high life total, but you could always just block next turn and then play Lurrus, try to get one of these out. It's not going to help, though. They're in a really bad spot here. They are. Valiant Rescuer next turn might be a good play, but still probably not good enough. But probably the best thing they could... Maybe their internet is down. I mean, either way, we're in a really good position, so I feel pretty good about, like, if their internet is down, we probably still would have won this game, but I want to know. Because they're trying to go to their attack step, but nothing's happening, so... I assume that Narkoi GZ here is possibly having internet problems, but maybe they're just like being a massive tool. that's possible. Either way, I guess we get to go here. Because, yeah, sweet, our turn. Well, there's an All That Glitters. Here's that card. It's pretty good. Let's throw it on Lurrus. Get in, I guess. See if they... Okay, so I guess they say we can just hit them. Sure. They had to be there to make that decision, right? They had... Right? I assume. Alright, well, that's two. Both of them against cycling. that we've won now. And I'll take it. Again, I'll take it. A win against cycling is pretty good right now because there's so much freaking cycling on the ladder. That if this deck reliably beats cycling, then I can say it's a pretty decent deck. The life gain, as you may have noticed, is kind of key. We're going to get up over 40 in that game, and that's just something that Zenith Flare is not going to really help with, right? So we go first here. We got a one-lander. Oh, we got a one-lander. That's not good, but I'll take it. I'll try it for science. We'll see what happens. I'm not super happy about it. But we'll give it a shot against Miravinzian here. Alright, we're in. Beloved Princess comes down. And we'll see what our opponent's up to. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully a big fat nothing. They play the Mardu Triome with the pretty art. And we don't get another land. So that sucks. It really sucks. In the turn. And now we can play Solid Footing EOT. Could always try and do that if they don't kill this with like a Bone Crusher. Huh. Interesting. 4 colors at least. Arboreal Grazer. Cool. What is this that we're playing against right now? I play Rogren. It's 5 colors, so that's cool. Huh. Well, this will be a fun test. Let's go. Got a Sentinel's Eyes. It's not a land. Come on, bruh. It's got to be a land. Well, it's Glaring Igus. Tap down that thing and get in. That may be the worst misplay ever. Like, we probably should have just like held up Karametra's Blessing. Fight as one. That's probably what we should have done there. I really want to get in damage while we can. Like, so bad. Let's see what opponent does here. I mean, okay, Gilded Goose. Still setting up something. Please get another land. please get another land. They got a bunch of theirs. Another Rogren Triome. Can make all the colors. Oh, God, come on, get a land. I need it. Well, let's get in. We're going to let their wildest dreams come true. Just let them do whatever they want. We're at 27, though. I guess that's a cushion. If we get another land, we can just play all the cards in our hand. A Winota. It's a Winota deck. It's a Winota deck. Oh, okay. Well, you're going to get an Agent of Treachery. But that's okay. Right? Because we've got a Karametra's Blessing. And that'll give this hexproof. So, you know, could be worse. There's the agent. They're going to grab the land. Nice. Nice. Okay, what a jerk. Pretty sweet. Oh, they're good gaming us. I'm going to give them a nice. Good game, bro. Good game. All I had to do was make sure he didn't get any lands at all. I don't know how I made sure of that, but I did. Very, very good game, opponent. Again, all you had to do was make sure your opponent gets mana screwed and your 5-color Winota deck that's terrible somehow wins a game. Well, that's a good example of what happens when you keep one-landers, but I was super tempted. Like I said, I did it for science, so we're 2-1. We're 2-1 right now. Man, that one felt bad. That one felt bad. If we'd have just gotten like one more land, man, that would have felt much better. But let's see what's up against Herwald here. Opponent goes first. Hey, maybe have we learned anything? This hand is super tempting too. This is everything we want. -1 land. Hey. Man, I'm super tempted. Well, let's see what happens to take a mulligan. That's fine. That's a fine hand. I guess I'll put back Solid Footing. I think that's right. Yeah. It's either Solid Footing or Glaring Igus. I'm not sure which one's the better card, actually, but they are playing Yorion, so we probably don't need the Glaring Igus as much as I think we might. Get a Brute. Oh, Brute. This Brute might die to like a Bone Crusher or something. It's possible. It's like that is the Abzan Triumph, so another 4-color thing. 4-color Euron is fairly common now, though. Let's get down All Seed. Let's get in for 1. Say go. Next turn we can all the glitters and start getting an actual damage. We want that. There's Teferi. Which Teferi bouncing a thing is actually not terrible. Yep, sure. I need more protective spells in our hand. We get all the creatures. Let's have 3 lands this game. That's something. Let's go ahead. Well, actually. Let's All Seed. Healer's Hawk. And kill this Teferi. Then maybe next turn we'll all the glitters. Now that we have All Seed down and it can actually protect the thing that gets the all the glitters. It's probably the better move. You're gonna Atris. Neat. Give them Mystical Dispute. But they can't cast it this turn. See if they take the 2 lands. They do! Okay. Maybe they already have a dispute. It's at least a possibility. We get a God's Willing. I'll take it. Put that on the Healer's Hawk. Suited up with the all the glitters. Just get in with the Hawk. Now, what would suck is a sweeper, because we don't have, you know, Karametra's Blessing. We don't, well, there's Teferi. Okay. That's not so bad. They're going to try to bounce the Healer's Hawk. Ah! I made the cardinal error. I should have God's Willing the Healer's Hawk first. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. Sitting here talking to myself. Oh, no. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible mistake. Oh, Clarence. God, that's bad. Alright. Okay. So awful. So bad. Clearing Aegis on the Genji. Tap down the Atris. Alright, let's go. All seed at Tef. Oh, they got something. Do ya? Do you got something? Let's try to kill the Teferi, and let's try to get in with the Ginger Brute. Maybe we'll get Brazen Borrower here? That's my pick. For what goes on. Definitely a thought. Having a thought over there. Sitting on a think. Teferi's Time Twisty. Ooh. 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 Yeah, yummy. Delicious. That's good. Alright, well, kill the Tef. We'll get back their Atris here at the EOT. Let's hold our mana up. Here comes the A train. Alright. What we're going to try to do is fool them into thinking that this is a land. That's what we're going to do. Right? Because they're not going to go for the same thing twice. Ah. Yep. Okay. Last time we put 2 lands face down and they took it, so I thought maybe they wouldn't do it again. But Shark Typhoon is a pretty good card. Shark Typhoon is a very good card. Let's face it. Been nice to draw a couple lands here, but then we wouldn't have drawn other things. I don't know how I feel about that. Opponent is at 8, so they can't screw around too much here. Wish we had a human out. You get like super maximum value off of Fight as One. Should have planned for that. We've had Beloved Princess in our hand like all game. It can't be blocked by Atris. That's interesting to remember. Alright, so they spend some mana on Tamio. They're probably going to get a Teferi. Back? We'll see. They get the Time Twist back. They want to do the Time Warp again. Throw down Overgrown Tomb untapped. Interesting. Interesting. They're going to scoop it up. They did some thinking. Maybe it's because we did some thinking like, oh my god, did you really just do that? Sweet. So cool. We somehow pulled that one off. Although the way things were looking, I think we could have pulled it off one way or the other. Because we could put a +1/+1 counter on something this turn. Ginger Brood probably. That's in for 3 right there. And then 4/5. I think we probably could have done something with that. It kind of depends on what we drew. But we probably could have done something with that. Yeah, an opponent realized it, so I scooped it up. Interesting game. A really interesting deck, too. All right, we're up against YSNT for this one. They're on Yorion. Just can't play against not a companion, but I mean, we're playing with a companion, so I can't really complain. Not a terrible hand. Ginger Brood, all the glitters, 2 things to protect it, really 3 things to protect it. A 4th thing to protect it. Doesn't get much better than that. Let's go ahead and Gingy. Get in for an attack. Alright, well, we get another Plains here. Which is actually something we wanted. Let's all seed. Omen of the Sea in response. It's nothing too scary. A little worried at first. Alright, one to the top, one to the bottom. So they wanted one of those, and they drew it. Put them at 19. Let's see what we got. Third land, Euro comes down. Yep. This is all to be expected at this point. This is standard, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. You got a land? I'm sure you do. You have Temple, so they get a Scry. These decks are good. These are good decks. Da-da-do. They're good decks, yeah. My turn. Alright. Let's get a little bit more serious, and all that glitters is the Ginger Brute. Get in for 5. And end the turn. Alright, so we can do this. We might be able to do this. They decide they're going to keep... They're going to go down to 15 for an untapped Hallowed Fountain. But they don't actually play anything, which is really interesting, isn't it? It's our turn. I'm not going to chance Solid Footing right now. Although I will do Solid Footing now. See if they do something. They're going to Omen. Still have 3 mana open, so they might be able to counter. That's what they want to do. Alright, 0 top, 2 to the bottom, so it looks like they are digging for a counter. And it's on, so cool. Let's get through for 7. You got something? Because I got something. You can do it, opponent? No, okay. Bop. Opponent's at 8 here. We can fight as 1 and get enough damage to win next turn if they don't gain any life. They're going to scry. Maybe they decided it was better to save their mana for that scry. If we fight as 1, we can save the Ginger Brute from a Shatter the Sky, which might be the other thing they're digging for here. They did keep 1 on top there, so they may have gotten it. Oh, it just got a little bit harder to win next turn. Yeah, they're going to Shatter here. So let's fight as 1 Gingy. Awesome. We got a Solid Footing, which is really, really good. Like, really, really amazingly good. Let's cast it. 8/8. Our opponent's more or less tapped out here. Let's see. Yeah, we can just Lurrus, All-Seed, and win. Yep. Oh, or Solid Footing. Whatever we want to do, really. It doesn't matter. Let's do that. Solid Footing, because it's the much jankier card. I don't want to win with Lurrus, right? So let's pick it up. 1 against Yorion's son with mono white enchantments. It can be done. Kind of waffled back and forth on the Platinum tier, but we ended up with 1 more sliver than we started with. So that's not, it's not terrible, I guess. Actually, I think that's 2 more slivers than we started with. So pretty good. Pretty good, all things considered. Oh, we can buy a pack. I forgot to do it last time, so I should probably do it this time. Let's see here. Packs, let's buy it. Let's claim it. Let's open it. See what we got, ladies and gentlemen. It's the big one. It's a Mythic Wild card, isn't it? Is it not? No, it's a Draenith Magistrate, which I'll take another one of. I'll do that. So that was Mono White Tempochantments, which, as you can tell, actually a pretty freaking sweet deck. It's actually really, really decent. I guess technically we won more games than we lost there, and we ended up with more chips on the ladder than we started with. So success in the very first ranked jank video, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't half bad. The deck did all the things I was talking about. This is what the deck does. We got to see pretty much all of those things in this video, except Lurrus could have gotten in a little bit more work, but Lurrus still did some work in these games. But yeah, all in all, pretty decent stuff today. So hope you enjoyed it. If you want to pick the deck up, deck list is in the description. Go over to TCG Player and pick up anything through the link, and it'll help me out. So do that, like the video, do all the other stuff. Comment, let me know how you felt about it, how you changed the deck up. in the description down there. I don't want to add anything like, say, Castle Ardenvale or Idyllic Grange or any other lands like that. 20 Plains is pretty much exactly right, and I never want a land to come into play untapped or come into play tapped. Ever, ever, ever. You saw how important it was in some of those games that, like, you know, we're able to play something on turn 1 and then play something on turn 2 and leave a mana open. It's really hard to do that with Castle Ardenvale sometimes, especially if it's one of the only lands in your hand. If you're playing 4 Ardenvale and you get 2 of them in your opening hand and no other lands, it really feels bad. But you could probably work 1 or 2 of these into the deck and it wouldn't be terrible. But aside from that, I'm sure there's other stuff you could do. Just let me know down there how you felt about it, how you change everything up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. A lot of content coming out in the next couple of weeks here. We're going to kick out the first tier list of the season before the end of the week is out. So get ready for that. Subscribe again if you want that content. Subscribe with the bell for notifications. But aside from that, you can check out the Patreon to help support content like this. I'm sorry that there's no like video feed for my face and stuff in this in this video. My SD card reader bent the other night, so I can't actually use my camera right now because I have to transfer the video from the camera and the SD card onto the computer via the SD card reader, right? But my SD card reader is broken, so I can't use my camera right now, but new SD card reader coming literally tomorrow morning, so camera's going to be back online soon. But in the meantime, I felt like I'd go ahead and kick out some gameplay for you, play something fun and fresh, and you probably haven't seen too much like this season. It's a really budget deck, really effective, super fun to pilot, and somewhat challenging to pilot on occasion too, so give this thing a shot. It's a lot of fun, whether in paper or, you know, you just play it on Arena. It's not going to cost you too many wild cards, like at all. Does this deck even have rares in it besides Lyris? No. I didn't even realize you could play this deck in Artisan if you just take out the Lyris, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's sweet tech. Pretty much all uncommons and commons. But yeah, let me know how you felt about all the goings on down there in the comment section. And I will catch you cats later. Also, let me know how you feel about the idea for this series, just taking janky decks on the ladder. I think it's something we're going to try to do like once every 2 weeks from now on. But anyway, just tell me things. Tell me how your day went down there in the comment section. And I will catch you cats later. I'm Dev from the Place. Thanks for watching, my wizards. Spread love and be kind.